Business Statistics, unit number 9. So in unit number 9, we're going to be talking about correlations. So for your assignment, you have plenty to do. I'm not going to say no. You have a couple of exercises, but these exercises are reflecting what you are learning throughout your PowerPoint. So I'm gonna do the first one with you, and then after that you just have to follow the instructions and get it done. So you will receive two files. One of them is the Word file where you have the instructions, and the other one is your Excel. So for this one, I'm gonna skip a couple steps because you already know how to do it. For example, this is data. I already have the data already removed. I already cleaned my data. And then what we're gonna do is already remove unnecessary columns. Already did it. So in this case, we're gonna calculate the correlation coefficient with the Excel function. So in this case, if you did it correctly, if you already have a table, it will be much easier and much faster as compared to doing it manually, or if you don't do the tables. If you're lazy to do the tables, it's going to take you more time. So in this case, let's calculate the correlation coefficient. So this is very easy. What we're going to do is just equals correl, and then you see the function of correlation already appears, and it gives you the parameters for it. So tell me the array 1 and the array 2. The array 1 is all this information, and all this column in state population, and the array 2 is going to be the GDP. So if I want to do it very quickly, the only thing that I'm going to do is, if I already put it in the table, yes, I can select it manually, but that will take me forever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put my cursor there, and where it creates that black arrow to the bottom, it's going to do that. Then that means that selects that one. Then I'm gonna do a comma to start with the array 2, and then I'm just gonna select again all that column with that black arrow. Okay, so in that case I have it that way, and then I have there this one. I don't know why it will copy one more time there, but let's just delete it. So the correlation coefficient for this one is 0.9. So let's try to answer here. It says based on the result. You say based on the result, how is the relationship between these two variables? The relationship is very, very strong. Why is it very strong? It's 0.98, is almost close to 1. Remember, correlations have a very strong relationship when they are either 1 or -1. Anything close to 0 means there's no strong connection. So in this case, we're trying to see if there's a relationship. If I increase X, which is the state population, the GDP, meaning the gross product, is it gonna increase in money? Yeah, it's very logical. The more people that you have, the more money you will create. That's very obvious, right? So in this case, we can see that yes, Y, which is in this case, we always have to be careful what is X and what is Y. This is Y axis. Okay, so anyways, in this case, yes, we see a strong correlation. We know it in number, but let's look at it visually. Okay, so what I'm gonna do in here is I am going to again select all my data. Okay, and then I'm gonna put insert, and then I'm gonna go to the scatter, or the scatter plot. We'll call it dot plot. So this is the dot plot. So in this case, I choose here this one. Okay, so it's gonna let me relocate it here. Okay, so in this case, we can see the connection between the dots because there's a line in there. In this case, it's asking me, for example, insert a dot plot, and in the dot plot, insert a trend line. So how we do the trend line? This one, I'm gonna do it right this way. Give me a second. Hold on. Here, there's one problem. Yeah, sorry, I had to make it bigger for you. So in this case, what I have to do to insert a trend line, where you select this data, then it's gonna give you the chart elements, and in the chart elements, I want to put the trend line. Okay, so It shows me a very nice correlation because majority of the dots are very near the trend line, or what we call the regression line, okay, or the regression. So in this case, we can see that there's a good correlation, firstly because we look at the coefficient is 0.9, then we look at the regression line. Again, this line is called regression line. Here in Excel it's called trend line, but actually the trend line is not accurate. This just helps us because it's not really a regression. The regression line should be calculated in a very different way, which Excel has it, but we're not looking into those functions because they are a bit more advanced. So anyways, in this case, let's look at our instructions, and it says, so insert a dot plot. In that dot plot, insert a trend line. We did it already. What kind of relationship is it based on the trend line? So in this case, we're gonna go a little bit to my slides. I'm gonna hold on a little bit. So in this case, I'm gonna look into my content. Was this a linear straight line relationship? No relationship, non-linear, unequal variability, clustering, or does it have any v-variate outliers? So in this case, I'm gonna decide that it's a that is a linear relationship. Okay, why? Because it's going up. It can be also going down. It doesn't matter. It can be linear, also going down. All right. So in this case, we have that. Let me go back to my other files. And so let's answer this question. It says, answer true or false if the population of a state, which is the x-axis, remember the x-axis as we look is this is the x, if it increases, the GDP, which is the y-axis, will increase. True or false? True, right? So in this case, there's a very strong way to say it because a correlation is 0.9. What will happen if we have a 0.4 or a 0.5? Then we will say, no, we're not sure of it. So in this case, we cannot really say that the connection is strong. So we cannot say that there's a good relationship. We cannot explain that situation. But in this case, we can do it. We can explain the situation because the correlation coefficient is very high, almost close to 1. It's 0.98. So it's very, very, very minimal, the little thing that can be done. So what you're going to be doing in here is in copy and paste the plot dot in here. So what you're going to do here is this one. I'm going to do is Control C. And then I'm just going to go to my Word document. Okay, then I'm gonna do paste is special. This one I'm gonna do it just like an image. Okay, so in this case, for example, the answer was true. You can answer the true. You can just highlight it, or you can just do it like this one and this one. That's it. I don't know, it depends on you. That's it, right? So in this case, we were saying that is a linear relationship. Nothing more than that. Okay, so we have it in there. That's all. The following ones are more complicated. You have to think a little bit, and I strongly recommend that you follow your slides. So let me recap a little bit in terms of the slides. So you need to look at your slides. You need to work with them because what I'm doing is we'll be showing you the different types, and then you have to understand what kind of relationship it is and what you have to do when something happens. So look at your notes, work with your notes, work with your assignments. It's a practical way for you to understand it, and it should be very easy. Actually, this assignment is very, very easy. It just takes you some time to do the things, but in reality, it's very easy. And it's for you to understand how the correlation between two variables works. Simple as that. If you have any questions, please make sure that you contact me anytime. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.